Welcome back to Presley Stadium. We are about to start the first inning in Gainesville, Florida. This is Gainesville Super Regional. This is game 2. So here's the deal. If we win this game, then we'll be on our way to the World College World Series.
Knowing that she's got that defense behind her, I think of Strain and center field, the plays that were made on that last line of defense. A lot of synergy between her and her defense.
Attacking the strike zone without fear against this Florida starting lineup presented by Capital One is no small feat. We highlight Corby Otis, who's a finalist for National Player of the Year, but Aaron, you could highlight the entire lineup for this team.
Draw a name out of a hat. You're going to have some records that are being chased, some performances put together this year for Florida. They're unbelievably impressive.
And we are underway, and we're in the first inning. So the team we'll be rooting for is Florida Gators. This Kendra Falby, one of my favorite players. It's 11 a.m. game this morning. I don't know why this game is like that early in the morning.
The Gators out in front, the way Baylor did against them yesterday afternoon. Florida as the away team here for game 2.
Service.
And you talked about Riley Crandall in the circle tunneling well. Her teammate, Emily Hott, who plays in left field and leads it off for the Baylor Bears, says she strikes out a lot against Riley Crandall in practice.
Because of that, I mean, that's exactly what she mentioned, is I can't tell the difference between curve, a change, the way that each pitch is released, it comes out of that zone. Again, the tunnel between the pitching rubber and home plate, the fact that she can thread that needle with such precision.
16-game winner this year, the sophomore from New Mexico. As a 1-2 count to Kendra Falby. Falby battling here at the plate. Start the game for the Gators, who won their 50th game of the season yesterday. Becoming just the 11th team in program history to reach 50 wins. And this time, Falby goes down on the off speed. One away in the first for Riley Crandall.
The pitch that she worked on the most this offseason is the one that just sat down the first batter that she faced. The off-speed low and away against Falby. Some of the best speed on this team coming at the top of the order for Florida. The importance of keeping those legs off base.
Top 15 in the nation in stolen bases.
Let's Corby Otis, one of my favorite players. She's a junior, and who knows?
One of the most dynamic offenses in the country.
Luckily, this is our home game here at Presley Stadium in Gainesville, Florida. As Tim Walton is our head coach for today's game.
Postseason experience on this team. We got to talk to Florida coming into this weekend just about what this portion of the year means to them. And Kendra Falby had some choice words specifically with you about the perspective of Supers right now.
Back-to-back strikeouts to start the game for Riley Crandall. Well, the off speed we've seen back-to-back on strikeouts for Riley Crandall. And you mentioned Florida being in the Super Regional. Have not been in the Super Regional since 2022. As Skylar Wallace digs in. And Kendra Falby, one of those 8 returners coming back from last year. They lost in Palo Alto, and she told us the 8 returners got together after that trip to Palo Alto, in which they were bounced early from the NCAA tournament and said, not again. Skylar Wallace keeps the inning alive with a 2-out single up the middle.
And it was specifically Skylar Wallace and Kendra Falby that sat down with head coach Tim Walton and said, what do we have to do? What do we have to do to get back to Gator softball? And I think it starts with these leaders. Skylar Wallace finding her way on with 2 outs. This is a team that hit well with their backs against the wall in game 1 yesterday, a 4-2 win. A lot of production with 2 outs, and I felt like their swings continued to get better with that pressure late in innings. And that's the Florida offense that we know so well.
Well, Wallace now riding a 13-game hit streak. Passes the bat to Jocelyn Erickson, SEC Player of the Year. And one of the new pieces that have been critical to Florida's success, again, we mentioned a moment ago, returning only 8 players from last year's team. A combination of transfer portal and true freshmen helping on this run. Speaking of running, there goes Wallace, and the throw down is not in time. And the SEC stolen base leader is safe, but shaken up at second base. Her 36th stolen bag of the season. And she might have caught something to the grill here.
So, yeah, she's kind of spitting a little bit. I'm not sure if that was a contact with the knee or the base. Straight to the chin. And tough as nails, though. You get that sense when you have a chance to sit down and talk to Skylar Wallace. We had the pleasure of that a couple days ago. The leadership, the grittiness, the perspective. Like, nothing is going to take down this young woman. Oh, that may have been the glove. Face right into the glove.
Oh. And now Baylor is challenging the call that Skylar Wallace did get in under the tag. Did not have a challenge yesterday. That has been quickly changed. Home plate umpire Terry Holt will head over down the third baseline and put on the headset. Cameron Ellison, Susan Eads, John Baca, also part of our 4 umpire crew for the Super Regional here in Gainesville.
So, I've heard a lot of discussions about going to a challenge call this early in the game. I think you can look at it from a lot of different perspectives here. She looks to be safe there for me. I think the fingertips get into the base before the tag's thrown down onto the head. But think about how close game 1 was. A 4-2 ball game. And honestly, without a couple bombs on the board, one swing from either team, this ball game could have gone a totally different direction.
It was a 1-run game until the 5th when Corby Otis hit the home run. Here comes Terry Holt.
After further review, the calling field's upheld.
Wings in motion. But back to the decision of using a challenge.
Official name is Terry Holt.
Like Skylar Wallace out of scoring position with 2 outs on the board, right? In a team that's hit so well with 2 outs, I like the call.
She has scored a program record 85 runs this year and is knocking on the door of the all-time NCAA runs record, held currently by Sierra Romero, set back in 2016. 2-2 count to Jocelyn Erickson.
I've had the pleasure of covering a lot of Florida softball this year, and I think every single game I've had the chance to cover, Jocelyn Erickson has come up in a clutch situation and delivered.
scoreboard and trying to manifest a run here in the first inning. Payoff pitch to Erickson. To second base. West to first. And Riley Crandall pitches around a 2-out. Skylar Wallace single and stolen base. Baylor picks up the bat.
Well, I have some fun and see who's going to win this game 2.